Hi, I'm Pitmaster X, and today we're making these insane belly ribs. A 3.5 kilograms, you're gonna love it. Set up your barbecue to smoke at indirect heat. I am using the Gorilla Q to separate the warm and cold area, which is basically a water container. The water will make sure that the radiation heat stays away from the meat. We are looking for a temperature of around 110 degrees Celsius, which is 225 degrees Fahrenheit. So now that the barbecue is lit, we're adding the water and we're going to let the barbecue come up to temperature. So it's time to prepare the dry rub for the ribs. The first ingredient is 3/4 cup brown sugar, then half a cup sugar, half a cup paprika powder, 3 tablespoons fresh ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 2 tablespoons onion powder, 1 teaspoon rosemary powder, 2 teaspoons ginger powder, and 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. Give it a good shake and then start applying the dry rub to the ribs. Make sure you got a heavy coat of dry rub on the ribs, because these pork belly ribs are pretty thick and we do want a good bite and a good flavor when we start eating these ribs. I am going purist on these ribs and I'm not using any mustard or olive oil, so I let them sit for about 10 minutes to make sure the rub sticks to the meat. Then we're placing the ribs on the indirect side of the grill, adding a chunk of applewood, and we'll start smoking. After smoking the ribs for 3 hours, we got an insane nice mahogany color. So it's time to wrap the ribs in foil and add more flavor to them. I have 2 layers of tin foils on the table, and I'm starting off by creating a boat shape so we can catch all the drippings or sauce that we're going to add. Of course, I'm adding my whiskey peach sauce. If you don't know about this sauce, then I will put a link in the video description. It's from a recipe that I posted about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So definitely go and check that out. Now that we added the sauce, we're going to wrap it again, and we want a good tight seal on these ribs so we are sure that we are not losing any more moisture from the ribs. We are going to place the ribs back on the barbecue and crank up the heat to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit and cook it for about 2 more hours. And as some say, through the miracle of time, those 2 hours have gone. So now we're placing the ribs without the foil back on the barbecue and we're basting them with the barbecue sauce. When these are fully basted, we're going to close the lid and let the barbecue sauce dry up a little bit. Then we're going to baste them for a second coating, and when they are coated and dried up again, the ribs are done. Now look at this beauty. Isn't she gorgeous? The juices are still running. It looks so good. We're going to take a slice of it and we're going to enjoy. So the belly ribs turned out amazing. You can still see the juices dripping from the meat. It's so juicy, it's so moist. It's an absolutely fantastic cut of meat. You gotta give this a try, guys. The rub and the sauce go very, very well together. And I really am enjoying this. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna eat this. See you guys next week in the next video recipe. Cheers!